Hello, everyone. This is dentist Dr. Rubinshtein, and we're talking everything you need to know when it comes to the mouth. Oh, it's upside down. Okay. Dr. Rubinshtein is a dentist based in New York City. You might have seen him on Instagram or TikTok where he posts lots of smile transformations. Dr. Rubinshtein, where did you get your inspirations to start making everyone smile about dentistry?
You know what it is? I was very honored and blessed to grow up to two parents who are both dentists. And growing up in dentistry, I remember how scary it seemed. So the first thing I wanted to do was use social media to showcase how much fun we're having at the office. It's not that scary. We have these dances sometimes with my team. We have these cool videos that we do. We show how welcoming and inviting we actually are.
All right, Dr. Rubinshtein, I want you to set the record straight. Does sugar cause cavities?
So it's not the sugar itself that could cause the cavities. You need the perfect environment for cavities to be formed. First, you need the bacteria in your mouth. Then you need the perfect environment where your mouth is either dry or your teeth have these deep grooves, or maybe genetically you're more susceptible to cavities. The sugars and the carbs, all of that together could cause cavities.
So let me guess, to help prevent cavities, you're gonna tell me to make sure I brush all the time, right? I have to brush every day, brush in the morning, brush at night, brush after every time I eat, specifically sugar.
No, definitely not. Do not brush your teeth after you eat. That is the worst thing you can do.
There's so many people that do that.
Because your mouth is now in an acidic form, and when you brush your teeth, you can actually scratch your enamel. So it causes more damage than it does anything positive.
Wow, who knew that? Do you know how many people that I know do that all the time? They brush right after they eat because they feel like, I ate the garlic, I had the onions.
No.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Rinse your mouth with water with alcohol-free mouthwash. You could use your mints, but do not brush your teeth right after you eat.
Wow, so when is the best time to brush your teeth?
Morning and night, be consistent. You brush, you floss, you scrape your tongue, and use mouth rinse.
So some friends of mine, they are raving about a Waterpik. Something like this. Can you explain to everyone how this works?
So you fill up this little cup area with water, and it has a gentle stream of water pressure that goes and shoots between your teeth. So it feels good, it feels like it's fresh. A lot of people mix it with different solutions. So depending on what the hygienist and dentist recommends to you, you can mix it, and it also helps with any gum problems and things like that. There's a very light pressure of water that goes through this, and when you put it against your gums, it massages the gums and it gets rid of any food that could get stuck there. So a lot of people like to use this because it's easy to get into the hard to reach areas, especially in the back.
Back molars can't hide from a Waterpik, right?
No, definitely not.
Absolutely. All right, so can you tell me the difference between this and flossing?
I have this question asked all the time because people are like, can I just floss or can I just use the Waterpik? I don't think a Waterpik is something that you're gonna use exclusively. I would recommend use it as an adjunct to flossing because you need to use as many tools as possible to keep your mouth as clean and healthy as possible. So for those that have not flossed, shame on you. Traditional floss is a string. It's understanding how to hold it. A lot of people have not been taught properly how to floss.
All right, Doc, so let's get down to it. I have my gifted teeth here. So how about you demonstrate the proper way to floss?
The idea is not just to go down and up, because that way you're gonna damage the gum, cut the gum, and cause a lot of bleeding and discomfort. What you want to do is actually bend the floss against the tooth and let it glide all the way up and down, even below the gum, because that's where most of the bacteria is hiding. You don't want to just clean the top portion of the tooth. You want to go a little bit below the gum. You go up and down gently, and remove it and extend the floss so that you're not bringing the exact plaque back into the gums. Because most cavities are caused between the teeth, and also gum disease starts from between the teeth as well. For those that are not flossing, get into the habit of flossing because it's going to save your oral health. So bottom line, one does not replace the other. A Waterpik does not replace traditional floss. Use it together to get the best oral health.
Right, because it's about total mouth health.
Exactly.
Ting. So I think we're always looking for ways to brighten up our smile. There's always commercials on brighten this, brighten that. So what's the deal with charcoal and whitening paste?
Charcoal toothpaste is actually charcoal, what we use to barbecue. It's a very grainy material, it's dark, and it's very abrasive to your enamel. It basically scratches your enamel. You wouldn't use charcoal when you're washing your beautiful car, so I wouldn't really recommend using charcoal to wash and clean your teeth. The other alternative to charcoal is whitening toothpaste. Whitening toothpaste has ingredients in there that are not as heavy and abrasive, meaning they could scratch your enamel, but it still has ingredients of acid that could cause damage. So if you're brushing hard with whitening toothpaste, you could remove layers of enamel. For those that want to whiten their teeth, when you go to your dentist, let them do it professionally. The results will be better, it'll be brighter, and you'll also have a long-lasting, healthier smile.
I have a question about also brushing harder. Is brushing harder actually making your teeth cleaner?
Not true.
I didn't think so.
Do not brush your teeth harder.
Yeah.
The idea is to angle it the proper way, 45 degrees by your gums. So this way you remove the plaque. You want to use a soft bristle toothbrush. These teeth are supposed to last for the rest of your life.
Right.
So you do not want to cause any damage to your enamel early on in your life.
Right, and the soft bristle, I've always used the harder one and thought that the harder one was working better. But no, it's the soft bristle that you need.
Use soft bristle toothbrush. It will still do the job as long as you're doing it correctly.
Comment below with your pressing health questions. And of course, hit subscribe here to the Health Channel to get more answers from medical experts on the questions you want to know. Dr. Rubinshtein, thank you so much for joining us. Remember to see your dentist for any medical advice, right, Dr. Rubinshtein?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now let me show you. Okay, so there is something going on back here, okay?
Again?
Yeah, I know, it's
Another?
ridiculous. So this one's coming down.